Good day to you all, and welcome back to my channel. This is Creative Works by Annie. Oh, I forgot my foam guard. I was trying to stretch it out. Okay, now if you are here for the Voodoo Star Runner, please pause it now and go down to the link below to go to part 1 of creating the star, okay? Because in this video you're watching, we are going to not create this star, we're going to create around it. Since there are multiple patterns of this set that use this center circle, I created a separate video just for that. So please pause it, go make your stars, and come right back. I will say that for the Voodoo Runner, you will need 2 of the stars that are complete circles, and then 1 that is, this is a big one, it's a big doily, and then put my hook back in here, or strut it, pull it out because I'm all prepped and ready to go, and then 1 skull, or 1 star that is doesn't have the 4th row. It only goes to row 3. Okay, so go and complete your stars and then head right on back here. Okay, so now that you have your 3 created, we're going to prep these for the next for joining them. Now first we are going to put this one aside so we can do our prep work. We're going to take our round one that's finished, actually both of them, and you can see that I have some stitch markers in here. Let's see, pull those out for you. So you can see I have some stitch markers, and so we're going to put those in. What we're going to do is we're going to take them. I love these ones. My thumb doesn't really need it. I'm going to have to take off my brace to do these, but I have a trigger thumb from crocheting too much. So I'm saving this knuckle, but this one gets a little stiff and I have to pop it now and then. But I love these little stitch markers. I happen to find these ones on Temu. I'm sorry, some people find Temu a little controversial. I like it because it cuts out the middleman, because it's all the same stuff that Amazon gets, Walmart gets, the dollar stores get. You're just cutting out the middleman. And so sometimes you can find some really great things and bypass the expense and just get them nice. So I love these little ones, but you can also pick these up on the Walmart site, I believe, and Amazon, and you might be able to pick them up on like eBay or other sites. Okay, but I just like them because they're easy, simple, quick, and you can put a lot of stuff on them. I will also use these at my craft shows to hang tags onto things. I adore them. I really do. I never really liked stitch markers before until I found these. Okay, so I'm going to take off my thumb guard and I'm going to show you where to place those. Don't let me forget to put that back on. So now we're going to find the middle stitch right here. Okay, so you can just eyeball it just like I am, because if you did your rounds correctly, you should have one directly in the center there. And we're just going to put our little stitch marker right around in the center, turn, go to the next one, put our stitch marker in. You can use more stitch markers if you need to, but for this, really, you just need to know where the center is. Add those in. You don't need to do this to the one that you did not complete, because that's the one where we're going to be working on, so you don't really need to know that one. Okay, now I haven't worked this pattern in a long time, so you're going to be working this with fresh eyes with me. So if you don't have the pattern and you want the written pattern alongside you while you crochet this, please go to the link below. You can find this pattern in my Etsy store and in my Ravelry store. The Ravelry store sells them just independently. This is a 4-pattern set. The patterns are Anti-Possession, In the Midst of Darkness, Skulls of the Night, and the one that we're working on here is Voodoo Star Ranger. Or Runner. Oh my lord. I'm okay. I'm okay. It's Voodoo Star Runner. I might need some more coffee or a nap. So, put on my brace while I'm thinking of it. On Etsy, you can buy the whole pattern as a set. So all of them as a set or individual. So it just depends on what you would like to do. So now that we have these prepped, we are going to do a layout. Now, since this pattern can be looked at both ways, what you can do is take 2 and point 2 up, or point 2 down, and then do the center one up, okay? So that way when you turn it, one might be up, one might be down. And then that way you can, I don't know if you can see this, let me stand up and see. Oh yeah, it's showing up pretty good. So you can, I'm standing up and adjusting so you can kind of see this a little bit better, because this is going to be a really big doily. It's going to probably be, because I mean just these alone right here is 18 inches. So this runner is probably going to be about 24, 25, 26 inches long, okay? If you use bigger thread, thicker thread, or a finger type weight, you'll be able to make this even bigger. You can also, if you're really ambitious, take these and join them together and work the border as you'll have to figure out that math yourself. But that would be really interesting. If you do ever do that, make sure you message me and show me. I would love to see that in all its big glory. Because you know how I love to talk and procrastinate. I'm using a, what was that, boy hook. It's a vintage hook. It's size 7. Now all hooks are different, vintage to new, and any kind of new brand, they're all different. So just size it to what you like. There's no real gauge in this at all. You just have to figure your comfort zone. If you crochet too tight, use a bigger hook. If you crochet too loose, use a smaller hook. But I'm also using Red Heart 10, and if you need more information about this, I also have this on my Amazon wish list, which will also be in the link description below. So we are going to get started, and now that we have the position correct, we're going to be going from this way to this way, all the way around. I don't know if my finger's going to show up in the video because I'm sitting down now. But we're going to start here, work counterclockwise, joining to here, work it around, and then join to here. And then we're going to slowly build it so we can go in a big long oblong. Okay? So now that we have this all set to go, we're going to be starting round 4 on the pattern, on the Voodoo pattern. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm going to be eyeballing this fresh just like you are. Okay, so I might have to frog. You might have to frog. Yeah, but we'll just work it together. But this is going to be a little bit lengthy video, so stick with me. Fast forward if you need to. You can, there's a little gear on the bottom of, I don't know what it is on tablets or phones, but on the laptop, there's a little gear at the bottom of the video where you can speed me up or slow me down, okay? And if I remember to do so, I will try to do timestamps. I'm not guaranteeing that, but hey, you never know. So, okay. Remember, if you haven't finished these yet, go to part 1, link in the description. Get them to this level right here, 2 full circles, 1 that is missing the 4th row because we're going to be starting round 4 right now, and that's to attach these all together. If you're here and you messed up and you want the anti-possession or the Skulls of the Night pattern, the links are down below to go ahead to those. Okay, go ahead to those right now. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to, this is very similar to this row, so you're not going to be too far off, okay? So we're going to chain 3. We're going to put 3 DC in this next little chain space here, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do that 9 times. So we're going to go 1. Oh, come on, thread. 2, 3. And what we're basically going to be doing is working our way over to this section, okay? So 1, 2. And of course my thread is wrapping around my pins that I moved earlier and then moved back. So let me move those out of the way. I don't have my cuff on my wrist because I'm putting up with my thumb splint, so, but I got this mat right here is rubber so it doesn't hit. So you'll hear a little jingle, but you won't hear too much. So if that distracts you, I apologize, but I like my bracelets. Okay, we're going to continue crocheting the 3 in the chain space. Come on. And then double crochet in the stitch. Okay, a couple more. I will put it down when we get to the appropriate spot. Said, I'm working this with fresh eyes, just like you, because it's been quite a while since I made one of these. But I thought since I have to make it, I might as well include you, because you might want to make it with me. Okay. Now that okay, let me put this down. We are now about to enter where the next tip is. Okay, let me grab my coffee. Of course, I'm going to be all kind of coffee and coffee. So now that we're this tip all the way to this tip, okay, we are going to start the next one, the next little section, by putting a double crochet in this one and only putting 2 DC in here for now, okay? So 1, 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find, I'm going to move this and move this more in the center. Don't go too far with that one because we're going to get to it. So now we're going to, right where this stitch marker is, let me grab my blue. You can see that there's a stitch just right above it, okay? Right here, because we stitched right into that. So we're going to go into this stitch right here, okay? And then we are going to do a little slip stitch right into that stitch. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. Yes. Oh no, we're going to be double crocheting into there. See, I told you, fresh eyes. So we're going to be putting from this hook, we're going to be putting a double crochet right here, right above where our stitch marker is. So get it ready, get it prepped, and then just slide that in to that stitch right there, the top of that stitch, and just work a double crochet right into that, and then put a double crochet right into where we were just stitching. Okay? Yes, it's going to leave a little space there. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to put a double crochet in that next little spot. I will show you in just a moment. Let me pull my thread up so it doesn't come out. I'll lay this down on the table. Okay. So, as you can see, we put our DC right into where that stitch marker is. Okay? And now these two are attached, but we're going to attach it in another spot, so hang on to that. Put your hook back in and let's continue on. Joining is kind of scary because it's all about counting and stuff like that, but if you do your prep work correctly and the rows that need to be joined are done correctly, you shouldn't have too bad of an issue. So now we're going to put 3 double crochets and a stitch in the next 4 little spaces here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get into this middle section right here. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're putting 3 in there. And then a DC in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and a DC. 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet. And then we are going to put 3 right here. And we're going to hold off for just a second here while I read a minute. Okay. So now we're going to put a double crochet in this stitch right here. And we're going to put a DC into this. So now we got to find the right place on here. Let's flatten this down. So as you can see, it kind of lines up. Let me pull this for just a second. And you can see it's going to line up pretty good. Okay? So what you want to do is find the middle stitch, because remember each little section had 3 in it. So you have 1 stitch here, 2, 3. So you want to find your middle one, and you're going to put a DC in that one. Okay? So let me get my hook back on. You're basically going to crochet into that middle stitch. Get it prepped for a double crochet. Make sure I'm lining it up right. Counting. This is where my stitch is in. Oh, make sure you're all right side up on your things too. But you have the stitch here. You have 1, 2, 3 in our chain space, and then a stitch right here. We want to go in the middle of these 3, so the second one is where we put our stitch. Okay. Now we're just going to continue on to our thing here, and we're going to keep working around for quite a while. 2, 3. We're going to keep going. We're going to be doing this 18 times. If somebody does want to count that out. That's 2. That's 3. And this is going to be 4. I'll double check when we get to the correct point here. Let's see. 5. And we got 6 coming up here. So 7. I'll double count. So it's always good to double check. This should be my 8th. And my 9th we're working on. And this should be 10. This will be 11. This will be 12. Oh, come on. This will be 13. 14. And 15. And 16. And 17. And 18. And then we're going to put our stitch right in that next one right there, and we're going to count here. There should be 18 times. Oh look, we're on the other side now. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so this means we are going to be needing our next little circle. And where we're going to be joining this one would be right where let me move this over a little bit more, right where the point is. Just like how we did the middle one right here at this one, we're going to be doing the same over here. So what we're going to do is find the middle of one of the point. Remember we had the 2 stitches and then the 3 in between, so we're going to go right here in this middle one, and we're going to put a double crochet right into that. Prep our double crochet, and you can either go front ways or back ways as long as your little thing is the right side up. Okay, we got a DC in there. We're going to keep moving. We're going to put 3 double crochets right in here. We're going to do this 4 times. So this is my first one. And this is my second one. This is my third. And this is my fourth one. Putting a double crochet in this right here. Now what we're going to do, make sure, because if this turns, make sure you flop it over, because you don't want it to twist and turn. It's easier to figure it out now than later on, promise you. So now that we have our 4 here, we're going to put, just like we did on the other side, our stitch marker. We put a stitch right above it, right there. Okay, so we're going to be connecting into there. But first we need to put 2 double crochets in this chain space right here. So 1, 2, and we're going to prep for our double crochet and put it right in the stitch right above. Okay, you can see that this stitch marker is on here. This time I'm going from the back to the front. That way doesn't matter. However, you want to make sure that your right side's up. You don't want to get it twisted. Okay. So now we're going to put another double crochet right in this chain space here. And we are done attaching. We're done attaching them for now. Okay. This is it. We're attached. So now what we're going to do, and to finish off this little section, let me tuck in my tail so you can see this better, is just continue on the double crochet in the stitch, the 3 DC, double crochet in the stitch all the way, and we're going to join right up here at the top of the beginning chain. Okay, we're to the beginning now, and we're just going to attach it right there. Let's pull that up a minute and check out what we got. I don't know if you can see all 3 in the screen because it's a big doily, but where my camera's sitting, I will take a picture real quick with my other camera, my regular phone, and I will put that on the screen so that way you can really see it. Now we are going to do little tiny joining motifs, and that's what we're going to do to put right in here and right in here. So that means we're going to have to fasten off this. And we're going to tuck in that end. I like to tuck in my ends as I go, so that way I don't have to worry about them. I'm just using a regular needle here, and I'm putting my hook or my needle down the one right below where my knot is, and then I'm going to thread it through. I'm going to pull that just enough to where it hides the knot. It like camouflages it, but it doesn't distort the thing. Now I'm going to, since I went all the way through, I'm going to make sure I don't go through that same spot, and I'm going to push it forward, tucking it in underneath where my DC went around in my chain. And then I'm going to give myself enough slack, and I'm going to go over with the last one I went through, so that way I don't go through it twice. And I'm going to push it through again. If you hear that little click, it's because I'm crocheting in front of my laptop. And so my laptop has a little magnetized closure on the ends. Okay, so now that we have these all done, we're going to set these aside for just a couple moments. And we're going to work on the little tiny motifs that are going to be in between to help fill in the spaces. We are also going to be joining these after this round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you, and then I'll pull the main piece out and we'll join those together. I'm making my slip stitch. You can use a magic circle if you want, but I prefer the slip knot technique. So I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put a slip stitch in the 4th from the hook. I like to work over my tails, so that way it tucks it in. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put a double crochet in here. I'm now going to chain 2, 1, 2, and put 2 double crochets. We're going to do that 4 times. It gives us a little 5-pointed wagon wheel. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll lay this down in just a second. 1, 2. We're going to finish it off by chaining 2 and joining in the top of our beginning chain. Okay. Now that I went over my tails, I'm going to go and trim my tail. You can tuck it in a little bit more if you would like. So now we have the little 5-pointed hair there. I'm shedding. So you can see it's just the 5-pointed thing right here. Okay, now that we have our motif done, let's mark our first little spot here. We're going to work on this side. You can start here if you want. You can start down there, but we're going to start right up here. Now I took away some of my stitch markers that were hanging out, and we're going to set this up with some stitch markers. Now I hate my brain too, so yeah, good times indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them marking the things. We're going to find the middle of our center here, of this one, of our center motif. We're going to find the middle, find that middle stitch right in the middle of that little section, which is right here. And that continues up to this stitch right here, which is the one that we're going to be crocheting in. Now we need to move 7 stitches down, and we're going to get to this one. This marker will go right above this wonderful triple crochet right here. You can just see it following up. Okay, and so then put another stitch marker right there. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between, and this is your 7th one right here. And that's where you're going to put your stitch marker. Now we're going to go to the other side and put that stitch marker in. And we're going to count up from our joining right here, which we're going to do count up 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is our 10th one. So we're going to put a stitch marker right here. We're then going to count up 7 stitches, which is going to lead us, I believe it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we're going to put it in the 8th one. So right above this tip right here, the one in the middle, you're going to put that stitch marker right in the middle one. Okay? Now you can go right now and put all your stitch markers in, or since it's the same each time, no matter if it's right here or if you slide it over, it's going to be the same, or the other side, it's all going to be the same. Okay? So you can go get those prepped if you want, or you can, when you rewind, you can just get it to this point, rewind it, and then set it as we go, and then you can do the other ones, okay? I'm going to do it the way I just did here because I'm going to do this one with you. So I'm going to set the stitch markers again. I'm going to pull these ones out because I don't need them right now. I can move them. I need 4 of them on this side. So now that I have this side all set, I don't really need to count. I'm going to be lazy, and I'm just going to, it's going to be the mirror image of this. See how this, because this star's pointing down and this one's pointing up. So we're going to find the middle stitch in this point. Take off my thing for that. Next stitch marker is going to be 7 down here. Was it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So 1, 2. Where's my pin so I can count with you? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to put it in the 8th one, which is going to be the middle. Okay. So the middle of this row right at the point, and the middle, this one, yes, yes, we don't want it in the center. We don't want to follow that one up. We're going to be putting it in the middle. Okay. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 8th. Okay, there's 7 stitches in between there. Let me make sure I'm moving it in the middle here. So there's 7 stitches in between this section. Now this side should be a little bit easier because our first stitch marker is going to be right here in the center. And then our second stitch marker is we're gonna follow this stitch up, follow it, follow it, follow it to this one, and we're gonna follow it right there. So this one's right here. There's always one side that's easier than the other. Okay, so now we have this side all prepped and we have this side all prepped. Okay? Please rewind and fast forward. Let me know how insane my brain is down in the comments. So now that we have our motif, we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're now going to join it right in with a double crochet right with our first stitch marker here. We're lining it up. We're going to put it right there. So prep for a double crochet. DC right there. We're now going to flip this just so we can, for ease of putting in a single crochet in each of the next 8 chains, individual chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now in the next stitch right there, we're going to be putting a single crochet, a chain 2, and a double crochet. So a single crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in that same spot. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down so we can get our placement correct on it. and we want a little bit of an arch. Okay, we want a little bit of an arch here, and we're going to put a single crochet right in top of where this stitch marker is, and this is going to join right here. Now the pattern says chain 3, double crochet in top of last stitch made. We're going to do that 3 times. To make it a little bit neater, I'm going to do a chain 2 and a double crochet in top of the last stitch made. It just tightens it up and makes it look a little bit more like this line right there. So I know it's tricky. So you can chain 3 if you want. I'm chaining 2. You can chain 2 with me. So chain 2, we're going to put a double crochet right in top of that last single crochet that we made. I'm going to chain 2 again. Put a double crochet right in top of that last stitch made. Do it one more time. Put a double crochet right in top of that last stitch made. Now our next stitch is a single crochet, so we got to flip this. Just think we got to do this like 1, 2, 3, 4 more times after this. Is it 4? No, 3 more times after this. Whoa, wipe a brow. Okay, I'm going to turn this a little bit here. Flip my piece over. Flatten this out just a bit. Yes, it's going to be a little awkward. So now that we have those made right here, we're going to now attach to our other side of the motif, and right where our stitch marker is, we're going to put a single crochet right in top of that. Okay, now what we're going to do is chain, I got stitch markers everywhere getting in my way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we are going to put a double crochet right in, make sure I'm lined up here. Put a double crochet right in top of where our next stitch marker is. The next one's going to be a lot easier, I promise. Still awkward, but a lot easier. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the whole thing over. And we're going to put a stitch. Let me double check my pattern here. Yep, that's what we're doing. We are going to single crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. If it helps, you can chain 1 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come on. Now we're going to slip stitch into, we're going to put put a double crochet here. In this stitch right here where our single crochet is, we're going to put a double crochet right there. Okay. Now we're going to put a slip stitch into this right in top of here. Okay, you can put it in between if you want, or right in top of that stitch. Come on, baby. And then we're going to fasten off. Next one I work with you is going to be a little easier on both of us, because now we know what we're kind of doing. Okay, let's look at our finished spot here. Whew, wipe a forehead, that's done, right? We've got 3 more to do. So you can see that what we did here was we made our motif, we chained 9, and then we attached it with a double crochet right where our stitch marker was. And then we put a single crochet in each one of the 8 chains there. And in the next chain, we did a single crochet, a chain 2, and a double crochet. And then we put a single crochet right in top of where our next chain marker was. Then we did a chain 2 and a double crochet into the top of the last stitch we made. We did that 3 times. And then we put a single crochet where our next stitch marker is. And then we chained 9, and then we put a double crochet right where this next chain marker is. And then we put a single crochet all the way back down over here. And then we put a double crochet right in top of this stitch. And we put a slip stitch in the mirror image of our top where we started. Whew. Oh boy, oh boy. I know, I want to smack my own brain. Okay, so now we're going to make our motif again, and we're going to go down to this side. Okay, this side should be a little bit easier because now we know what we're kind of doing. You have the luxury of rewinding and keep watching me. So I'm going to get back up, scroll back up to where my motif is. Give my finger a quick snap. Okay, I'm going to make my slip stitch. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it into the 4th chain from hook. Working over my tails, I'm going to chain 3, double crochet, chain 2. We're going to do this 4 times here. We're going to do 2 double crochets. We're going to get that 5 points, just like we did on the other one. Chain 2, double crochet, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and double crochet. 1, 2, double crochet, and double crochet, ending with a chain 2 and tapping it and joining it with a slip stitch in top there. I'm going to nip my tail, and you can continue on and tuck that in, but just for ease of video, we're going to do this. I'll probably tuck in my tails on the other side. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, remember we have our stitch markers already set out, and we're going to chain 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to put a double crochet right in top of where our first stitch marker is. See, this is already easier doing it the second time. We're going to slightly flip this over, And we're going to put a single crochet in each of the next 8 chains, individual chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to put in that last chain that's available, we're going to put a single crochet, chain 2, and we're going to put a double crochet in that same spot. Now lay it down for placement. Make sure that we're not twisted. Okay. We're going to put a single crochet right in top of where our next chain, or our next marker is. I'm going to put a single crochet right in there. Pinching it so it's closing. Okay, now we're going to chain 2, DC on top of the last stitch made. We're going to do that 3 times. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to lay it down so we can find the right placement here. Okay, and we're going to, I'm going to flip my whole piece over and get this in the right place. Make sure it's laying down nice and neat. And I'm going to put a, got on my hook too. And I'm going to put a single crochet right where my stitch marker is. I'm going to follow that up and put it right in the middle there. Now I'm going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to prep for a double crochet. We're going to put a double crochet right in top of our next stitch marker. Now we're going to flip our whole piece over so we can, a lot of flipping, a lot of tails in this so far. And now we're going to put a single crochet in each of the neck. We're going to basically skip that first one there. And we're going to put a single crochet in each of the next 8 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come on, baby. And then we are going to put a double crochet right here in that stitch. And now we're going to put a slip stitch in top of this stitch right here, which is mirror image to the other one. Kind of, yeah. I think that's because this side's just easier. The next 2 sides should be even more easier. Okay, so I'm going to now move my stitch markers to the opposite side here, and I will see you back when I have all my motifs and my tails tucked in. Okay, so pause it here, rewind back to the stitch marker setting, and I will see you in just a little bit. Okie dokie. Let's get this going here. So we have the 3 stars, they're all attached. We're going to, if you lay it down flat on your desk or lap or wherever you're creating this, what you're going to need to do is slide it over so you have the one that's furthest to the right, right in front of you, because you're going to be starting right here, okay, this first motif. So this side, okay, this motif. This is where the pattern's going to directly or direct you to go. We are going to start with a simple slip knot once again, because that's my favorite way to do it, and that's the method that's going to be easiest right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the middle one, which is going to be technically the 4th, because 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to crochet in that 4th one. So you're skipping this. This is the top of 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitch, 4 stitch, and that's the one you want, is the 4th stitch. Okay? Or if you get confused and you can't do it, just aim for the middle. Okay? Because you're going to put a stitch right here, you're going to put your joining right here, and you're going to put your first stitch right here. Okay, let's go. Let's do our joining. If my little tail and my hands work. This is actually